everyone. If you're catching the replay, welcome. I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey everybody!
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Welcome or welcome back, and happy Sunday. Sunday. People talk more and more about football as this time of year goes on, which means the halftime show is coming up soon, which is exciting. I think it's supposed to be Usher this year, and I always had a crush on Usher. I always thought he was so cute. So, it's cool. Cool Cat, hello. Mr. McPhoebe, hello. Andy, hello. As we start to pile in. What's your schedule these days, Steve? Schedule for the videos we're doing is going to be sticking with Foodie Beauty Live on Sundays. And then Mark and I are talking about having a live where it's the two of us because at the rate we've been going, there's none scheduled where we're both here for a live. So we're still ironing out some details. Still all our regular, content. Christine, Sandra. Yeah, thanks for hanging in, Jay. I know it's been unscheduled since New Year's started, and January has frankly been a little less busy for us than December because it's not, Vlogmas, and it's just a nice kind of time of year. Wood Nerd, hello! Just to be chill. So, besides, don't worry. There's cake, there's balloons, Valentine's stuff. Fear not. There will be more. There will be more. I guarantee. So, I just noticed as I was getting the video together, my wedding ring is cutting off the circulation to my ring finger. January is hard motivation, I think, for a lot of people, for a bunch of reasons. There's people that get post-holiday blahs, there's people that were putting things off that were unpleasant to do until it's, after the holidays. All sorts of kind of stuff get It's cold, it's been very cold here. We're gonna get a heat wave like everyone else, I guess, but it's been butt cold. None of the snow we had melted. We had a couple inches of snow Friday, so it's a scenic day up here in northeast Pennsylvania. My Shantal reactions are the best. Thank you, Roxy. I've had some good ones. I've seen some good ones that aren't mine. But they varied over the years. Different reactors have come in and out over, it's gotta be 4 or 5 years I've been talking about Shantal. Over that time, people come, they go, somebody gets popular, they get less popular, they get their channel taken away, all that kind of stuff still seems to happen. So, but yes, we are here today to chat about our fair lady Shantal Marie, I saw the RN Reactor, Jay, very cool. I want to see some more. But I just passed across that. It came across in the algorithm. And it was yeah. Great reality TV. Most of this is reality TV. I always find it funny when Chantal's upset that there's people that continue to talk about her. I'm like, well, E-News, they all the time are following people and their every moves and this and that. Not that I care that much about Shantal, but chicken pot pie for dinner? Oh no, I don't think so. Even if it's homemade, half a pie is half a pie. I don't give a fuck. It's the same number of calories in the whole wheat everything. Fat for fat is about 100 to 120 calories a tablespoon. For your health, definitely some ingredients are definitely better than others if you have the means and that kind of thing. But I wasn't super impressed with her healthy pot pie. It might have had a little more fiber from the whole wheat flour. She used oil instead of butter. So I don't know. Mix of snark and intelligence. We try to have both. At the very worst, I would just at least intelligence, even if not snarky. So things to touch on this week. It's been a bit of a week. We didn't check in with it was a cup of oil. We didn't check in this week for a coffee break. Things were busy this week at the Smokeysteveandmarc household, and some things got done and some didn't. So we're going to catch up a little bit. I'm not going to drag you back a week because that's all old news, and you've probably seen some reactions already. Thank you. This was from Mom. Army colors, camouflage colors. So in Shantal news, there was discussion of breeding her cat, which hasn't been fixed, with another cat that hasn't been fixed. So she didn't follow up with any veterinary care, and now she has plans to breed. I have really hard feelings about people that breed animals, as a hobby, and they don't know what they're doing. We have an overflow in this area of pit bull mixes, pit terrier mixes, because everyone wants to be a thug and get one and walk it around, and then when it's work to raise, they tie it to a tree outside of an animal shelter and leave it there. Um, I have a soft spot for dogs. I've never had one. I'm sure when I do, it'll be a little more intimate. But the same kind of carelessness with just giving away, oh, I'll just breed the cat. It's so selfish. Dieting, she was on, day off. We did have Taco Bell for a treat. She discussed water fasting again, because it's always worked so well. She's gaining muscle, not fat, as the eating goes. Overweight people can be loved too. This is where Shantal was getting flack for her poor life choices and tried to whitewash the whole thing as an attack on obese people being worthy of love. Okay. Cam up. One of her favorite things to say, of course, anymore is cam up, because if she can't see your face, she doesn't know what to say. She made him a nice sweaty breakfast. There was, of course, a healthy chicken pot pie. Just a nod to her. One good day won't do it. You need a few in a row. And then she had some Subway and smoked and complained. And she said she never told the doctor, actually, about her binge eating disorder, which I'll wrap that up now. I think she probably told the doctor she has binge eating disorder, and they rolled their eyes. They're like, sure. For whatever, it doesn't matter why you're 250 pounds overweight. The point is you are. And then getting it off is the challenge. And she's had some alleged weight loss this week, but then weight gain. Given how rapid it's all been, I'm sure it's just her trading back and forth the same 10 pounds of water. Every time she goes on a diet, for 2 days, all the stuff comes out of her system, Mark in the background. Mark's somewhere. He's somewhere.
I'm here.
He's here. So, beginning with the cats. This is not necessarily sequential, but this was the thing that kind of bothered me the most. So she has Julia, the cat, which she got while she was in Kuwait. And she got that after they got Harry the hamster, which it was challenging probably to have 2 pets when nobody was there. They had somebody else apparently coming in to feed them and coming in to check on them and blah, blah, blah. So why did she never get the cat spayed? First of all, the length of it was just laziness. There was nothing in it for her, except she'd have to go out in the heat. Not worth it. Besides, it's not going to kill the cat for it not to be spayed. It's not like we have other ones. Then she gets in her head that she wants to breed cats. Now, I can't decide whether this is just a troll because it's such a sensitive issue for people and it'll spark reaction, or if she's just that much of a scumbag. I want to go with scumbag, because it's one thing to keep an animal in your home. Okay, you didn't go here or there to get it, and you're not taking very good care of it. How could you? You're not there. And she just wants to prove that she can have another cat. That you don't want me to have cats? I'll breed them. I'll raise them. Why does fucking up the life of a few cats, show everyone? What does that show? Everyone has seen everything they need to see. Nobody's going to see her snuggling with Julia now and go, hey, maybe the BBJ thing was just an overreaction. Those claws weren't that deep into her pads. Shantal is very good with gaslighting, downplaying, depending on the fact that only a handful of people usually know what the actual truth was, having followed her for a while. So, trolling and being a scumbag, I would go with that. Oppositional defiant disorder. Tell her no, she'll go do it. Tell her no, she'll go do it. She's probably been like that since a child. And she plays it off as being whimsical and impulsive and footloose and fancy-free. No one wants someone like that in their life. Unless you're paying. Right, Solid? So the breeding of the cats I personally don't think is cool. I don't agree with, I don't like, but abusers got to abuse, fish got to swim, birds got to fly. It is what it is. I never thought that she would continue to take interest in animals, especially after they've caused so much trouble with her inability to care for them appropriately. Taking care of it for 20 years, BBJ, was a thing. That was a big devotion. And right at the possibly end of her life, ditch for a guy. These are the kind of people that drop their kids off at the grandparents and say, sorry, I met a guy and I'm in love and I'm dropping all my responsibilities on your door because I gotta be me. At any rate, so, is she too far gone to understand that it's not good for a pet to be in that situation, or does she just not care? I think Shantal probably lives with a lot of telling herself the things she's doing aren't that bad and rationalizing, but the only one believing her bullshit is her. And so she's able to walk around Trolling with the cats? Yeah, Kathy. I'm thinking she's not going to breed animals. She wouldn't know what the fuck to do. If it involves standing, she'd cancel plans. So, Vancouver Island, hello. She can't handle the responsibility of one cat. There's no way she's going to go into a bunch. And then, the discussion of adoption comes up periodically with Shantal because medically she can't. She had a hysterectomy. Full or partial, correct me. And kids aren't on the horizon for her, which she said very matter-of-factly she never wanted kids, didn't have anything to do with them, not much love lost there. And she grieved for like a hot second with that. She grieved for a bit to say, well, I guess I can't have kids now. I never really wanted them, but I can appreciate that someone taking away, no one took away, you lost, the ability to do that due to, we'll say, no fault of your own. It was a full. So that's the thing, though. I think it was possible that Shantal was a little ignorant with a natter, thinking that just because she couldn't get pregnant, she couldn't catch anything else, and that's how we got gonorrhea, because who needs condoms? I can't get pregnant. There's worse things than pregnant. You could get something bad. Or you can get something terminal, like a kid. I don't know. So, dieting on dieting day off. Now, we've gone through back and forth. Animals are props to her, they're collateral damage. Love the scarf. Thank you, CL, and thank you for the super chat. Much obliged, much obliged. So, new sub, welcome, welcome. So, we talked about breeding. The day off and day on dieting, she's shoehorned in some fast food. So, there was Taco Bell within the last week, but then there was also Substop, which is like a cheap-ass Subway type place. And in light of her choices that she wants to set as the standard, she walked a few extra minutes a couple days in a row, so she treated herself to Taco Bell. She ordered out to get some fast food, and it's Subway, so it's a little different. It doesn't really count as much. Oh, it's a healthy pot pie. But a portion is a portion is a portion, whether it's healthy or not. The whole point of making it healthier is that it has fewer fat, calories, whatever, than a traditional serving of chicken pot pie. So you're not doing better if you get one of these little ones that take an hour in the oven. We had them a lot as kids' banquet, I think. That doesn't make it any... It doesn't make it... Like, it's fewer calories. So you can have 3,000 calories of healthy fats, oils, and grains, or you could go have, like, the dingy 250-calorie one. I don't know. Eating back your calories is a dangerous thing in weight loss. Emily, I'm inclined to agree. And having gained and lost a bunch of weight myself, I can vouch for that. It's usually a rationalization. While she's taking those big bites, she's thinking of all the walking she did and comforting herself with all the walking she plans to do, if only in her head. So that gives her the peace of, I'm not doing something bad, I'm not doing something wrong, I'm not doing something hurtful. And I mentioned disability in the title of the video because it's not, disability isn't supposed to be a vacation. It's not like, wow, the fatter I get and the worse I get, the more I can get people to do things for me. That doesn't make you royalty. It makes you helpless. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But yes, the pot pie looked a little gray for my taste. Little bit. And she was eating that. That thing was 211 degrees. And she was going at it so hard. She's been losing, she said she lost 15 and then gained a few and then gained 5. She's re-losing and gaining the same water weight, I think, over and over and over again. And I think Amber forgets too. They'll brag about previous weight loss. I'm like, that 5-day water fast she was so proud about when she was with BB, it was supposed to be a month. So, here's your participation trophy, but you didn't even finish not even a quarter of what the goal was. So we can call every day a success, I guess, but when the goal was supposed to be quite a bit further out, her version of a 5-day fast. First of all, she started eating on day 2. Day 2, she started cheating because she was drinking coconut water or something. And she would say, I know some websites said don't do this, don't do that, but I'm just going by and I think I need it and it's very hydrating and hydrating. This is what happens on days like Taco Bell Day, where we get the line of, I'm just eating this, we did a lot of work, it was on sale, it's always on sale, just to say what it is, and that she's treating herself. And the rest of the day she's going to have cucumbers and filtered water and cantaloupe. She'd be better off to go with all that and just see what happens. She's not going to starve to death after a 5-day water. She's not. She's got enough food on her for years. There's no way. Who drives an hour and a half each way to walk around a nursery and buy a gelato? Someone whose food is more important than, well, let's see, what could have been the same distance? The vet? Somewhere to buy some new clothes, that kind of thing. You're going with scumbag. I think scumbag is probably. I don't get it. I don't get it. So she's just kind of with the dieting, kind of like a weak person. Like willpower isn't her strong suit. And you don't necessarily need willpower to lose weight. I think there is a bit of misinformation that people say until you love yourself, you'll never take care of yourself. You can hate yourself and lose weight. Have we heard of eating disorders? People who would rather be dead and their method of choice is starvation. So you can hate yourself and lose a little bit of weight. All that body chemistry, the food in, food out, has zero to do with attitude and everything to do with action. So she could stay a raging kind of scumbaggy bitch bad with animals, but might be like a size 8, if that was helpful. She would need skin surgery, but guess what? She could probably afford it if she stopped buying fast food. She could afford surgery she might need later. See, Shantal doesn't see too far ahead. If she had a solid weight plan, she might have a few years out with, if I'm on track, I might want to change my body again after that, because Chantal's stomach is already almost to her knees, and if she loses weight, it's going to be lower. And I can appreciate that loose skin is as uncomfortable. It almost kind of feels like, why lose weight? Because I'm never going to have the body I want, because it looks like someone draped fabric all over me, and, one part of my chest is higher than the other. One side of my back is heavier than the other. So, Scuzz Bucket. I like Scuzz Bucket. That's not bad. Melted candle, exactly. So she goes. Now, the water fast, just to go through again, it's subtle. It's simple. She always wants to go big. Always big. I'm going to go on a fast. I'm going to go vegan. I'm going to eat raw foods. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. And then she's going to lecture everyone after 5 years of content where she hasn't lost a goddamn pound. Tell everyone what they don't know about weight loss and what they don't know about health and diabetes and all that kind of stuff. They know. Of course they know. So for the water fast, she wants to do it 5 days. I will give her this. I did keto for 2 solid weeks. It's somewhere in the channel if you look at the archives. But Mark did it for a day and a half, and I did it for 2 weeks. And we were just giving out keto at the time. It was the new year. We were going to try to lose weight. 2 weeks, no bullshit. I stuck to it. Not a chocolate chip, nothing. Lost 4 pounds and felt sick to my stomach constantly. So I probably didn't do it right, which, keto, vegan, and CrossFitters, man, will they tell you about yourself. I don't know why, but they feel compelled to explain to you what they're doing with their life and how much it's helping. It's like, great. You go do that. There's a lot of different ways people eat. And after I came off keto, I was like, you know what? I never did any of that shit when I was younger. It was just eat less. It didn't matter fats and ketosis and, throwing myself into situations just to lose weight. I don't know. There was other ways I went about it. And there's other places in the world, if we think back a little globally, beyond just the American meat farmer trying to upsell to women. All of a sudden now when you go through the grocery store, it's so different. You'd see in the 90s, fat-free this and fat-free butter and fat-free that. And then you get closer through and you see Atkins stuff from all the early 2000s, low carb. And then when low carb wasn't enough, we went to keto. Only calorie counting leads to lasting weight loss. That was my experience when I did keep it off. Now, I've succeeded and failed a bunch of times with weight loss. Lose it, gain it back, lose it, gain it back. So I can appreciate getting sick of yourself to some degree. Not easy, it's simple. Exactly, CL, I agree 100%. Simple, not easy. So many things are. Keto was a little expensive for me. And I'm thinking other places in the world, like Japan. People live a long time in Japan. Do you know what the staple of the diet is? Rice! Aren't they worried about love handles? So, there's a lot of Southwest tribes in the United States. Sure, there was hunting, but there were plenty of gathering corn, beans, rice. People lived for thousands of years on things like that. And fish, yeah. You want to go to the Mediterranean route, even. And there was no one was walking around taking their blood sugar every 3 minutes because ketosis is some fucking state of grace, apparently, that needs to be maintained in absolute. I needed to do more math and more fussing with my food doing keto than I did when I had a full-blown eating disorder. It was fussier, there was more counting, there was more foods limited than it was when I was restricting myself out of pretty much punishment and the desire to be noticed. Things have fewer nutrients now than they did 100 years ago. The difference is, on average, Japanese eat 800 calories less a day. Volume! You mean it has to do with volume, not quality? I totally am on, like, oh God, I remember my grandfather, who died at 90, and it was way, way, way too past. And cutting his food in half is how he lost weight. He's like, make your plate, cut it in half. You can be full on less calories if you plan. It sucks. Well, it's a change. It's just a whole change if you've been living your life a certain way for so long. You know, sometimes I think it's easier. Let me just get a 4-pack of Premier Protein, and I'll have 4 of those a day. It's plenty of protein, and I'll probably lose that weight. I say I don't want to, but know that I want to, but have to put work into. So I can appreciate her circumstances because she's 5 times more overweight than I am. I'm probably about 40 pounds from what would be ideal. But she's still about twice my weight. Premier Protein are so good. They are so good. I take one with my meds usually at night. I have to have a little food and something with it. So at any rate, she doesn't have to go way out of the way and do a water fast. How about something simple, like let's make sure we drink a quart of water a day? Something little, something doable. You know, I've heard it said nothing succeeds like success. You know, the more you do, make a short list and check the things off of it and then build off there. But I don't think Shantal, and she's not unique in that, I don't think Shantal can see that far ahead. If she's not 10 pounds less tomorrow, she's not doing it. So, water spilling. I usually try to have water going in me. Sometimes I'm mistake hungry for thirsty. Depends. But things change up. I used to do OMAD. I don't do OMAD anymore. I'm back to intermittent fasting with a shorter window, like a 16/8. And it's all about trying different stuff and sharing with people and taking suggestions from people who know what they're talking about. I mean, ultimately, we're all going to do exactly whatever we want to do, regardless. But it's good to have some information from people who know what they're talking about, because then if you run into a roadblock, it's like, oh, what happened? You know, Shantal might not know about something like plateauing in weight loss. She could lose 20 pounds, not lose any more, throw it all away, and gain back 30. Counted your calories for a week and realized how much I was actually... Isn't it awful, Roxy? I've done that too. Food journal. Food journal, I would say, is probably an honest food journal. Not eat nice and eat right just so you can write whatever we actually eat. It's sobering, I'll say that. And then from that, you know, we can all decide what we want to do. Do we want to change our eating? Do we want to exercise? Do we not care? You know, but having the information, I think, is good. So, and as long as we're talking fitness, she's not gaining fat. She's gaining muscles. She's gaining muscle. From what? from what? I couldn't tell you, actually. The walking is great that she's been doing. I know she did a video about taking a 2-hour walk, and they went all over the outside and inside a mall and all that kind of stuff. And I'm all in favor, of course, of her being active. And I think her taking 10 steps and then sitting every so often is probably low impact enough for her. Nevertheless, at her weight, with her co-occurring health complications, I would so rather go to physical therapy and ride the bike there, like keeping people, you know, in the loop with the health, because obviously she can't manage it by herself. She's tried for 20 years. How many more? 20 more years? You don't have. So, I don't know. Miss Crosco, hello, 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 hello. So I don't think she's gaining muscle. Just to say, I don't think she's gaining muscle. Because she's mostly overweight. She's probably holding 20 pounds of water. But once that water weight comes off, it's a good little punch. But I think a lot of people who've been big misunderstand, some, not all, misunderstand that that's water weight. That the first bit is going to come off real quick. So, New Year's resolutions going, Steve. We've been good with meds. Food-wise has been good, portion-wise. I'm going to say the quality of my food hasn't been spectacular. Mark's been cooking. So, you know, a proper serving of manicotti is still a proper serving of manicotti. It's not a broiled chicken breast and a green vegetable with lemon juice on it and cayenne pepper and maple syrup, whatever's supposed to make it healthier. It means little carrying 400 pounds. It just looks so uncomfortable. It looks so uncomfortable. So, hey, Dovo, what's up? Now, she parlays this thing about being cornered for being fat into a discussion about how overweight people deserve love too. Okay. Yes, this is true. Of course, this class doesn't include you. It would be super morbidly obese people can be loved too. You can be a lot of things and be obese. You can be a great artist. You could be a good parent. You could be a good driver. You could be a great chef. You cannot be healthy and be 250 pounds overweight. I don't care what you Google. It's just not over the long term. Bodies give out. I'm 2 or 3 years older, I think, than Shantal. And I've been heavy off and on my life, and I carried a lot of my weight the same place she does too, stomach and chest. My back hurts all the time. My knees hurt all the time. Even losing weight, it's just years of wear and tear, just get worn down. And that's another consequence of it, too. You get those fat guy knees, like when they go, and your knees are right here, and they're like knock-kneed because trying to steady the weight is literally causing my legs to collapse out from under me. So with her saying big folk can't be loved, no one said you can't be loved. No one said big folks can't be loved, okay? But just so we're clear about love in Shantal's life, she has no friends. She seems a touch estranged from her family given her last visit to Canada. And her husband has more fun talking about scat porn with strangers than any conversation with his wife. Of course, he's in there playing his games. You know what he's doing. You know what he's doing. So, overweight people are entitled to all the love and respect and everything in the world, but don't confuse someone criticizing your personality, whitewash it, and try to rile up a chubby gang, to say they don't want us to be happy. No, you're miserable and selfish. You deserve to be unhappy. Fuck the rest of the fat people. Don't pull other people in front of you for a shield just to mask your own behavior. I've done it. It only works with the stupid, with the profoundly stupid. Will that work? So, it's not because you're fat, it's because you're obnoxious. But I just, that was just my thought on things. Because I've known, one doesn't always have to do with the other. And there's plenty of other big folks on YouTube who don't talk about their weight because they don't try to be weight loss channels. They don't make videos say what a 400-pound woman eats in a week, and then a week later, what a 330-pound woman eats in a week. Like she lost 70 pounds. For real, right? So, I don't know. Another thing that she likes to do is compare. So, one of the things she'll say a lot, she went into a semi-rage, of course, and then we go through French Fry Girl, Kaya. I think she brought up garlic bread in some community posts, and there's these other channels. And her thing is cam up. Cam up. Shantal doesn't throw very good insults, and she's not good at rebutting anything. So she won't rebut any of the points all those reactors make. She wants them to show a picture of themselves so she can go on her 5th grade Rudy Tooty. Ew, you're gross. You have this, you have that. The bitches can walk. And that's the only kind of insult she has. She has no honest rebuttal for the things they're saying. No back to it. So I think she just wants to have the cheap shit kind of pick back and forth, because the things that must hurt her the most are the shallow ones, because that's what she throws out first. I don't know. Tell your story, waddling. So, camming up, I don't think will do it. I don't think their words are any more meaningful if you can see their picture. She's going after Zachary, apparently. Isn't he a little beyond her? I mean, I know he does Amber too, but he's on to bigger things. He well hit that 100,000. But when Shantal was at 90,000, he was at 4,000, and he beat her to 150. So it's not necessarily luck as much as effort. People have to like us. If you don't like me, you're not going to want to listen to a lot of what I have to say. You know how long it takes for any of us to swipe away from a video before it's even the 2-second mark? I don't like his scarf. And it's that quick. And it's nothing personal. That's just how being known and seen and all that works. I know. How can she attack him? He cams up. Because she's got nothing to say. She's got nothing to say. And no one on her side. Which is ultimately her fault too, I would say. Clicks and views, clickbait. And we did the clickbait thing, I want to say 2 weeks ago, heavy. Taking off the hijab, question mark, no. All the stuff she was trolling, she wasn't actually doing any of it. So telling everyone to cam up doesn't necessarily make... And, let's say she does cam up and she's a big person. Maybe it's not just big. Maybe it's like, you know, it's more than just being a big size. It's needing the accommodations of the disabled, scooters, elevators, CPAPs, sugar testers, extra wide seats on airplanes and anywhere else. Like, this, other people haven't had to do all that. Like, do we all secretly? I bet every single one of those reactors who doesn't show their face is 400 pounds. Shantal's convinced of it. And she thinks if she can make a snide little shallow insult that somehow she wins because she's 13 in her head. So, you prefer me over Zachary Michael, but that's a matter of taste. I like Zachary Michael. I started following him when he had about 3,000. And he was doing a lot of Foodie Beauty. He was a little more even-handed, but Zach has changed as a person even since his channel started, like his priorities. He was like working at a school when he started and then changed, and then he's non-binary or something, so the clothes seem to get switched up a little bit. But, you know, his hair always gets me. I like Zach, but his hair, it looks like, what do I want to say? Doc from Back to the Future. Just everywhere. I don't hear the anonymous reactors grasping for breath every third word. No, you don't. You don't. And it's, I guess I can see, because, I mean, most of us, if we tell the absolute truth about ourselves, it's not as awful as we think. I think it's opposite with her. I think it's a lot worse. He changed, well, we all do, Jay. I would hope that all of us are in a different place than we were 5 years ago, that we've grown, matured, made progress, all that kind of stuff. I like people with jobs, too. My data job is, like, meaningful. Like, it's fulfilling. I like the people I work with. I'm pretty good at the job I do. Would I make more as a YouTube creator? Well, I don't know. Apparently not. So, you think Zach's mean? Zach can be mean. He can get catty real fast. Like, and that's just, you know, we're cut from the same flag, but a little bit different. You know, we're all a diverse cross-section. Zachary Michael is much more vivacious, talkative, has a big following with him. He's everyone's gay bestie, you know, so that's, I think, the vibe he creates, and it feels like you're sitting down to dish with him. And he's not a total asshole about it, like some other channels can be. So, I can be mean too, I can be snarky. It definitely comes out when I'm talking. So, the camming up. Now, she did make breakfast, as there were some meals. She made a traditional, sweaty Syrian breakfast for her betrothed. She prepared the meal that was supposed to be something for him, and she ate it. And it was kind of, I felt like it was more like assembling, actually. But, Steve, do you regret reacting to Shantal or her being in the universe? No. She's got more problems than some other people, but nobody's all bad. I hope. You know, I was going to say she'd give her cat a kidney if it needed it, but probably not. Sweaty breakfast. She prepared it for him. He's been MIA. Not a bullet point, but worth mentioning. Where the hell's Sala? Whisper quiet. Maybe he's working. Maybe he's selling, you know, fragrances. You know, that whatever he does. I don't know. We're all fat. All of us are fat. Every last one of us. So, I saw a video about Thailand. It is known for the nightlife and a lot of sex workers. Makes you wonder. I knew that too, Beth. It had me thinking. And there's ways people experiment with their sexuality when they're abroad. And there's different individuals to experiment with. So, if I had to have dinner with Pete's or Sala, who would it be? Pete's. Pete's is a weirdo, but he's mostly harmless, except for that rape fiction. But otherwise, he seems more or less harmless. You know, all bark, no bite. Sala doesn't. I don't think Sala speaks enough that we could talk. You know, and I would never get him alone. She wouldn't trust him with another man, let alone a woman. So, because that could really blow up the plot. That'd be pretty bad. So the sweaty breakfast, he's very busy. He's working. What the fuck is he doing? Where is he? Then we had a healthy chicken pot pie. Now, again, I wanted to reiterate, a serving is a serving, whether it's of a healthy pot pie or another pot pie. Eating 2 to 3 times that amount makes it not okay. It might as well be full fat and have, because you're going to eat the whole thing. She ate like half of it. It looked weird. First of all, it looked like it was made of dog food. She seemed happy with it. But it was just for her. She said there was a piece missing for Sala. I'm sure. I'm sure. But I don't know, when she says she makes low-fat food, the only person who looks like they're eating a modest diet is Sala. Thanks for always camming up, Steve. I got you, Carrie. We're here. I am so far off the radar of all that. Like, I would be very boring to banter with because I don't play. I usually don't. Like, I don't know. I know she's not 40 yet. She's still young. But brown diet. Tee. That was Julia's litter box. I don't care what it was. It did look a little, it looked a little meh. It looked a little meh. But I don't think, like, when they do all their shopping, because we've seen the stuff they buy, especially that cheese binge they had like 10 packages worth of, and all the other stuff that comes with it. Now, I don't, like, we cannot be prejudiced without being dumb. Like, a 400-pound individual and a 170-pound individual go to the store and come back with 10 pounds of cheese. Who do we think it's for? Is it cruel to assume that extra food, if she's eating extra food, they'd have to buy extra food, which explains all the cheese? You know, it's not like you see Sala all the time walking around with a big block of cheese like it's a hand fruit, just eating it, walking in and off. Sala eats modestly because he gets whatever slim pickings are left. Fair point. Thank you, Capricorn, for the super chat. Quite. Twice a month grocery shopping. And then it's all that bullshit in between. It's all the bullshit in between that she eats. The candy, that kind of thing. Like, what do we think? Do we think this giant amount of candy is for this adult male to eat while he's playing video games? That says something, but we'll leave it alone. It's a lot of people. Or is she eating it? And he's warning about it. He's willing to leave it out of the house. He's said before, do you really think we should bring this in? She insists, yes, because she has to learn the hard way. Why? Do it the easy way. Let him keep the shit out of the house. If you want it so bad, go for a walk down, go get a piece of chocolate, and come home. You know, the pot pie missing amount looked like the proportion he would have eaten. Nope, I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't really like eating her food very much. I mean, I know she cooks for him. It's all she does. She doesn't really clean. She's not much of a companion. When he's home, he'd rather be doing anything else. So, I don't know. And she was eating this chicken pot pie. It was so, like I said, so hot. So hot. And half a pie, even if it's low fat or healthy or whatever, doesn't matter. When you're talking about weight, different things like whole grain means nothing. Some things just in terms of calories in, calories out, I think it's not quite as strict with it. And the fact, whenever she says, oh, I can't eat this because I'm dieting off this or that, it's like, what the fuck do you care? You think people are idiots? You're a very large person. People are not dumb as to how one gets fat. It happens. And like was said here, it's simple but not easy to go through the process of trying to. Why is there Jiffy Mix behind you? Thank you, Eileen. Thank you. Calendar page. We have coming up a video that will involve cake at some point soon. So this is set up for the background going into the next day. Scrambled eggs swimming in oil from the same pan. But yeah, I don't get it. Well, she thinks most people are idiots. And in Shantal's defense, there's a lot of idiots out there. Otherwise, why would they still be buying memberships? Who sees a person who's so self-centered and says, you know what I need to do? Give them $4. For guests, to give away some of them. I think we'll probably have a cake for us. But Mark's going to be doing a little dolling up of some mixes, doing some scratch stuff. So that'll be within the next couple days. He usually films Mondays with Mark tonight. So this might all be for that, too. So your husband hides Nutella from you when you have it in the house because it's like crack. Yeah, I was a late convert to Nutella. I think a lot of people were. Well, yeah, she thinks we're dumber than she is. I don't necessarily think Well, yeah, but I mean, like, how many years has she had it the same way? She doesn't need to change her cycle. It works. If she never wants to be more than this, then she can just continue with what she's doing. She can just go on eating. And again, another point, one good day won't do it. So having a good day of low carb, I got moving, I went for a walk, that's great, especially if it was a change from what you did yesterday. Um, one good day won't do it. You need a few in a row. People talk about how much crap can you have. I think it's probably like 95 healthy, 5%, like one cheat snack a week or so, something to keep it bearable. But the longevity and maintaining it isn't something she's very strong with as far as maintaining effort towards something. Um, the only handful of things she's done in the last year that she said she would do was she flew, she traveled. But okay, so she can barely get on the plane now and we'll need 2 seats. How far does she want to take it? 450? 500? And then what? We explode? You know, she snacks all the time. She eats all the time. She doesn't count it. Your body counts it even if we don't. We can be cute and try to make ourselves feel better, but we know, the clothes don't lie. Now she's wearing drapes and stretch pants, so she might not get the immediacy of it. Or if she has more of her face to hide under here, it's supposed to go over here too, I think. About that high up. So swollen is because she eats all that fucking fast food and salt. And that's when she gains weight, it's all the salt. When she loses weight, oh, it's not water weight, it must have been fat. But dear God, I pray for Smee and all related. Going forward, though, she's been back in Kuwait now for a hot minute, and she never stays anywhere more than 3 months. And they never keep the same car or apartment, it seems like, for longer than a few months. But surely they're not running from anything or doing anything wrong. And I don't know what their plan is. I don't know where he is. I don't even have a guess. I think he's just laying low and hoping this will blow over. But this is up there. The scat play is right up there with Foodie Beauty going off in Cuba, Pumped Up Kicks, all of those. She calls us all haters for calling out her eating, but always admits she binges. Right, like, do you agree with us or not? Oppositional defiance. She'll eat herself to death. I'll show you. I'll hurt me. I'll drink all this poison and then just wait for you to die. It doesn't work like that. Beating your body into the ground does not prove anything except that you're willing to hurt yourself for spite. And that's sad. It's sad. Saleh insulted Allah with his weird religious kink play. Yeah, the thing with the Christianity and the cross dipping down under his gingerbread while they're doing it. Very, very odd. Very, very odd. So, I mean, I can appreciate it, but like, whenever I see someone like Saleh, well, I mean, in the West, I always think like, what's wrong with them? That like a woman, if they're going for women, in her 30s, what was wrong with the women there? Did he have an ulterior motive? I mean, if you set your searches to Canada to date, aren't you kind of leading with that? Like, hey, why the hell would I talk to randos in Canada unless I had ideas about moving there? 30, 32, I would say 6X from what the stuff she used to buy and try on. So no stores have her size now. She has to learn to sew. Hey, maybe, no, it's too much work. She'll get all excited, buy a sewing machine, build a whole sewing room, plan to make stuff for the cats, and get halfway through her first outfit, and get bored and hungry and quit doing it. That's about the gist of every week of Foodie Beauty for the last 4 years or so. But if she does turn it around, I will be, I would make the first video if she turned this around. What a huge story it would be. She's just been so dishonest for so long that even if she objectively, with no filters, got to 200 pounds, it would still somehow probably seem unbelievable because ill-gotten gains is all she ever wants. She wants praise for things she hasn't done. She wants praise for things she said she'd done. I even know what he wants. He wants to come to Canada. He's using her. I know, but she makes her feel special. I guess. She'll take it. She doesn't mind being, quietly humiliated by everyone watching because of what it looks like, but she can make her own modest clothing. They're called king-size sheets. All you have to do is put it over you and then pin it in the front. She could go full on, pull it over her face, tie it, and then leave it like that. I mean, at least she has something a little more simple, like an abaya to put on. Could you imagine if she had to put on like a sari? I don't think she could do it without a crew of 3. So, I don't know. I don't know. Subway and smoke. So she talked about smoking again. Toga, toga. Subway. She ate Subway, cheap Subway. She was smoking and then complaining, of course. She needs a home health aide, CL. She doesn't need a maid. At this point, she needs people that can do things for her that she should be able to do for herself. And she can't. Again, disability by choice. She wasn't struck by lightning. No one else is in command of her fork. You know, she doesn't wear the hijab properly. She wears it to what she thinks will be flattering. So, but getting Subway, she got some cheap stuff. So this falls in with Taco Bell and the other ones we've had this week. This is not like a cheap meal because it's a sandwich, even though it's from a fast food place. It's food that was made fast and she's eating it, but she's not eating fast food somehow. I would love to be inside her head for 5 minutes. So she's practicing portion control with the Subway thing, so that's okay. Portion control's good. And Subway, you can feel screwed. Like if you get a 6-inch from Subway and then you eat it all and you're like, man, I should have got the foot long. I was starving. But it is what it is. And I can remember going from transitions of being big, and eating big amounts of food to trying to cut it down a little bit. But she had Pete's putting her socks on when she was in the mid 300s. This is correct. So as we approach 4, or hover around 4, whatever, do we think that's better? Do we think it's easier? It's like I said, she tries to make it sound bougie. I'm going to go get a pedicure, get my toes done. You're going to a podiatrist to get those claws cut because you can't reach them. I don't see Sala as nice as Pete's. Okay, we'll say nice or pushover or, shitbag. But Pete's would put her socks on. He would dry off her sweaty marks, and and even BB was helping take care of her when she had the hysterectomy. That was like the last stand of his providing help. She has insane stamina. So unicity, stamina. My God, she can walk 12 paces. God. I don't know about showering, Patricia Quinn. I suspect she either needs help doing it or she doesn't do it often. Now, I can understand if you're so big that it's like complicated to get yourself in and out of the bathroom. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they make them for the standard size person, and wherever that is, if you're too big for it, you're too big. I've heard other people say from other countries that Shantal would not survive there because they don't make seats on the trains that big. Things are more built up for pedestrian travel rather than cars or stuff. So, I don't know, making veggie pot stickers and rice for dinner. See, that sounds good. Too many carbs. Don't you know what'll happen? Don't eat that rice. Your liver will go into failure. You might come out of ketosis. Sorry, I'm unnecessarily hard on keto. I just don't care for it. It just wasn't for me. I know a ton of people that lost life and got fitness back by doing it. So it's not a comment on that. It's a comment on my shitty opinion of it. That's all. So Pete's could stand her. BB was best for her. Natter was the most. Yeah, she can't help but it's all power dynamics because Pete's is a pushover to her. She doesn't have to earn much of anything from him. He'll just go ahead and do it. Oh, what do you need? Socks? Oh, what do you need? This? And I still think at any given time, well, at least up until maybe a few months ago, she could turn straight around to Pete's and say, Pete's, I was wrong. It's not Sala. It's you. It's you I've been wanting this whole time. Pete's would melt and propose again. Because I think he's still carrying a torch. He said he liked bigger women. He knows her well. But she's sneaky. BB had never met Pete's. I don't think Pete's met Natter. BB deserved better. I hope he got it. And there was always discussion with BB that it was a citizenship kind of scam, that she was living with him, because he was originally from Senegal, I believe. And she had met him while she was in Canada. I don't know if they met online or on Plenty of Fish, I think she said. It was some app. I guess she got tired of homeless guys. So she moved one in, and BB was there for years and never any problems. Again, played video games. I mean, interests are interests, but I don't know. Pete's forbade him from ever coming back. Natter was at the villa. They were doing the dancing in the living room. So, and then she was trying to appease Natter by sleeping on the couch and not sleeping anywhere near where he is to try to appease him. Telling her chat she's just more comfortable here. She has her CPAP and this, and it's not for any other reason than my comfort. Bullshit. You think you're gonna get in good with a guy because you're gonna put distance. It's not gonna work. So Steve, I'm about your mother's age. I remember when Atkins was the latest fad, people started having heart attacks from the high salt. Yeah, I'm just waiting for keto to come around. I mean, I'm not a big fan of colon cancer, but large amounts of depending on the quality of the meat, how much you're eating, that kind of thing, whatever. Whatever. All right. So I think, the only last thing that I had noted was that she said she never told her doctor, I guess the one in Kuwait, about binge eating disorder. It explains a lot of her current situation. Why would she just leave that off? I mean, I'm sure the doctor looked at her and didn't think, oh, wonder why she's fat. It's usually not a mystery. And the fact that she's fucking herself over playing with blood sugar and hormones and psych meds, no wonder she's fucked in the head. But it's whose job to fix it, whose job to mend that. And it's hers. It's Shantal's job to fix. So, I don't know. How do you not mention your eating disorder to the doctor, Sandra? I do not know. I do not know. Be proud of yourself, Steve. It's a while. It's all a journey. Sometimes I go in circles. Usually there's a move ahead at some point. BB had papers. It wasn't there in the BB era. I was the tail end of the BB era. I came in when Shantal had lied about being vegan for a week. So that's about where I came in. Well, thank you, CL. We do what we can. We do what we can. So that's still in the works. Diet watching, but I haven't gone as far as making like a what I ate today or anything like that. There's nothing proud making to show. It's just little stuff right now. So as that comes along, maybe. She knows it's not binge, just straight overeating. She doesn't, I don't know how she doesn't understand it, but she doesn't understand it. So, BB had papers? Then he was just a nice guy. He didn't seem like a sucker, though, because when it was done, it was done. Plus, she cheated. She cheats. I'm sure this wasn't the first time she was cheated on. Then again, it depends on, according to her and Natter were in a long-term relationship. So you can't go by what she says. The long-term relationship she was in that she would try to put in people's faces, where's your man? Where's your meth pipe burns? Where's your glossy-eyed at 9 a.m.? So, I don't know. Mountains of food. She eats too much. It would make most people sick to probably have to eat as much as she does. But I mean, she decides what she's going to do. We don't control her fork. She does. And if she doesn't like the consequences, where's your throat gonorrhea? Where's your penicillin for dessert? God. BB had an escape plan. Probably. He probably had a much longer term thing to do. Natter's just floating around, living person to person, for the most part. He's still leeching off Dee Dee at the moment, but I don't know. It's always funny when Shantal would poke fun at Dee Dee. It's because, you hit that at his insistence. Talk about anything to keep a man. You're going to go outside your sexuality just to appease him. And look who she was appeasing. It's not like he was even her husband. He only claimed her for a week of dating. It's sad. I mean, and then she gets all pompous about it because, well, I have this and I have that, and you're just jealous. Having a supportive partner is nice, but I was able to run my own house. Independence is attractive. It very much is, Kalari. That was what attracted me to Mark the most when I first met Mark. Granted, we were running in and out of drug and alcohol circles, but Mark was more of a independent, kind of go which way the wind blows, not too attached to any one place. And I admired that he was that independent. He didn't need me, which made him attractive. He didn't need me for anything. And I think he didn't start getting attracted to me till I didn't need anything from him. The desperate, the longing, the please, please don't leave me. Please love me. Natter's below mentioning. Well, he was a scumbag anyway, too. Here's another one. I didn't dislike Dee Dee, but apparently she thinks his behavior is not a deal breaker. So, I don't know. And Chantal's got nerve. She would have chased that green dick down as hard as anything. Show over, come over and eat their leftovers you know what I mean? Tell me you're the alpha and in control. So, Mark is goals. I got lucky with the guys. I got very lucky with Mark. He was a good boy. Well, we are at almost 5 of here. So going into next week, do we have any thoughts? Well, she's going to keep fucking up eating. But we're due for something a little bit bigger. I don't know if she'll bring up the cat issue again. So, I don't know. We all love Mark. We all love him here. He's filming, I think, in the kitchen, so I don't want to scream to him. But so going into the next week, we will check in and see how she is surviving, how she is doing. I think Sala will still be, he might make a cameo this week, something pre-filmed and not that big of a deal until the massive heart attack or stroke. No, Chris, because you know what you'll say. Not fat people aren't the only ones to get strokes. Plenty of thin people have heart attacks. You are a walking risk factor, a bundle of risk factors. It's not a good time to point fingers. Doesn't help anything. So, 6 love. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. But going next week, I think we'll see Sala. I think we'll see him like once. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. She'll be doing some more food stuff just to kind of drag it out. Where are we at? YouTube payday is, we get paid tomorrow. YouTube doesn't pay you on Friday. If the 21st payday falls on a Sunday, they pay you Monday. They don't pay you the Friday before. So maybe cooking, maybe eating. She won't be going out for another walk. That 2 hours of walking covered her for the rest of the month. But she is going to look at her numbers. She did better this month, I think, view-wise than others with this kind of content and then the back and forth. But she's running against the clock, trying to see how much she can make by the 31st. And so she'll do what she needs to do that, which will mean mukbang, rage stream, some dumb shit like that always brings people in. And then we'll just roll into February. We'll see. I know they probably don't observe Valentine's Day where she lives, but let me guess, she's going to try to celebrate it anyway. Payday means takeout. It damn does. And if the dispensary delivers, when she was in Canada, all her money would come at once. I was like, reminds me of like Graceland. I was like, wow, this place looks like some hick came into a whole bunch of money at once. Look what they did with it. They carpeted the ceiling. But I did see her sitting on the new furniture, or laying rather, so I guess that's okay. Has Shantal met his parents? She said she went to a family wedding with him. If it's a family wedding, I'm assuming his family was there. But there was not a hint of it, not a picture, not a whiff, nothing. So, I don't know. Still Muslim, part-time. It's just the outfit. I've said the only thing with the Islam that she stuck to was the outfit. Just the outfit, because it was convenient to her. A love documentary. Oh yeah, we're going to see a montage. The two of them, all stock footage, hanging the phone out the window, driving, waving at nobody. Sala's mother's dead. She was sick during the course of all this, I had thought, because there was discussion of Shantal schlepping money off to his family to help support Sala's family as well. So, I don't know. I'm sure Shantal gave money, so she feels like she's owed for a lifetime. So there will be a serious medical emergency eventually. I'm expecting an amputation arc. If a heart issue doesn't sideline her first, it's grim. It's not good. It's not good. So, died when he was 13. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. Just to make sure. I want to make sure I have the timeline right. So, well, thank you everyone for joining us. We are at about the hour. Another great chat. Another full room. We had over 400 folks. It was great to have everybody here. Please do hit the thumbs up on your way out if you'd be so kind. And thank you for joining us. Please do subscribe. You can hit the notification bell up top. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and go live. We never usually have a video or live within 24 hours, but if we did, you'll get the alert. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All of it's listed below as well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for chit-chatting. Good crowd, good chat. Thank you, mods. Thank you, lurkers, everybody who commented. And y'all have a good Sunday and look after yourselves, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye. Say goodbye, Mark. Bye.